Hey everybody, welcome to CI Geek Channel. We're diving headfirst into the nitty-gritty of lean manufacturing. Now, I'm not talking about some pie-in-the-sky theory here. We're talking about getting our hands dirty and figuring out how to squeeze every ounce of efficiency out of our operations. Today we're uncovering the 6 big losses, the silent killers of productivity that can hamstring even the most well-oiled machines. These losses, they're sneaky. They hide in plain sight, slowly eating away at your bottom line. But just like any good mechanic can diagnose an engine problem, we're going to break down these 6 losses one by one. We'll see how they impact your workflow, your output, and ultimately your success. So whether you're a seasoned manufacturer or just starting out, grab your hard hat and let's get down to business. It's time to tackle these 6 big losses head on and transform your shop floor from a place of frustration to a well-oiled machine of efficiency. All right, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Equipment failure, it's the heart attack of the manufacturing world. One minute your production line's humming, the next it's dead in the water and you're left scrambling. A busted conveyor belt, a fried circuit board, a hydraulic hose that's decided to spring a leak. We've all been there. And the worst part, it's not just the downtime that kills you. Think about the ripple effect. Every minute that machine is down, you're losing money. Orders back up, deadlines whoosh past, and your customers? Well, let's just say they're not smiling. But it's not just about the financial hit. Unplanned downtime throws a wrench into the entire operation. Your carefully planned production schedule, toast, your team's morale, about as low as that hydraulic fluid leaking onto the floor. And don't even get me started on the safety hazards that can crop up when a machine goes haywire. We're talking about potential injuries, damaged equipment, and a whole heap of liability issues you don't want to deal with. So, what's the solution? Well, it's not about wishing for invincible machines. It's about being proactive, regular maintenance, folks. Think of it like taking your truck in for an oil change. A little preventative care goes a long way in preventing a catastrophic breakdown. We'll dive deeper into the specifics later, but remember, a well-maintained machine is a happy machine, and a happy machine means a healthy bottom line. Now, or imagine this, you've got a hot product, demand is through the roof, and your production line is raring to go. But there's a catch. You need to switch gears and retool for a new batch. Sounds simple, right? Well, not so fast. Setup and adjustments, my friends, can be sneaky time thieves if you're not careful. Think about it, every minute spent fiddling with dials, swapping out tools, and recalibrating settings is a minute that your production line is standing still. And time, as we all know, equals money. Money that's literally evaporating into thin air. Now, some setup and adjustments are unavoidable, but the key is to streamline the process, to make it as quick and painless as a pit crew changing a tire at the Indy 500. We're talking about standardized procedures, clearly labeled tools, and a well-trained team that can switch gears faster than you can say lean manufacturing. Because let's face it, the faster you can get that machine up and running, the faster you're pushing product out the door and keeping your customers happy. And happy customers, well, they're the lifeblood of any successful business. So let's ditch the clunky changeovers and embrace efficiency. Your bottom line will thank you for it. You ever watch a NASCAR race? Those drivers, they don't hit the brakes unless it's absolutely necessary. See, in racing, like in manufacturing, every second counts. Now picture this. Your production line is a finely tuned race car, ready to speed towards the finish line, but then it happens, a minor hiccup. A jammed feeder, a sensor malfunction, a brief material shortage. These little interruptions, they're like pebbles on the track. They might not seem like much, but they can slow you down, disrupt your rhythm, and cost you valuable time. We're talking about those small, seemingly insignificant pauses that add up over the course of a day, a week, a month, a minute here, 5 minutes there. It might not seem like much, but trust me, it all adds up. Think about it. If your line is idling for an average of 10 minutes every hour, that's over an hour and a half of lost production time each day. That's like hitting the brakes every time you see a yellow light. You're never going to win the race that way. The key is to identify these micro stoppages, these little gremlins that are gumming up the works. Once you know what you're dealing with, you can start to find solutions. Maybe it's a matter of reorganizing your workspace, optimizing your material flow, or empowering your operators to quickly address minor issues. Remember, eliminating idling and minor stops isn't about pushing your team harder. It's about working smarter, smoother, and more efficiently. All right, let's talk speed now. I'm not talking about breaking land speed records here. I'm talking about finding that sweet spot, that optimal pace where your production line is humming along like a well-oiled engine. See, running your equipment at reduced speed might seem like a good idea at first. After all, slower means less wear and tear, right? Well, not so fast, just like driving with your foot perpetually hovering over the brake pedal. Consistently operating below your target speed can cost you big time. Think about it. Every minute you're running slower than you should be is a minute that you're losing potential output. It's like having a race car that's capable of hitting 200 miles per hour, but you're stuck cruising in the slow lane. Now, I'm not saying you should be redlining your equipment 24/7. There's a big difference between pushing your machines to their limits and running them ragged. But finding that balance, that optimal speed where you're maximizing output without sacrificing quality or risking breakdowns, that's the name of the game. It's about identifying bottlenecks, streamlining processes, and ensuring that your team has the training and resources they need to keep things moving. Remember, efficiency isn't about rushing. It's about finding that perfect rhythm, that steady beat that keeps your production line cranking out quality products like a well-oiled machine. Let's talk about defects, those pesky imperfections that can derail even the most well-planned production process. Now, nobody's perfect, and mistakes happen. But when defects become a recurring nightmare, you know it's time to sound the alarm. Think about it. Every defective product that rolls off your line represents a whole cascade of wasted time, money, and resources. It's like baking a cake and then having to throw it out because you forgot the sugar. All that effort, all those ingredients down the drain. First, you've got the wasted raw materials, the metal, the plastic, the fabric, whatever it is you're using to create your product. Then there's the wasted time and effort of your workforce. And don't even get me started on the cost of rework, scrapping, or heaven forbid, dealing with returns and unhappy customers. The key to tackling defects is to get proactive. It's about identifying the root cause, figuring out why those imperfections keep popping up. Is it a training issue, a problem with your equipment, a flaw in your process? Once you pinpoint the source of the problem, you can start to implement solutions. Maybe it's investing in better tools, improving your quality control procedures, or empowering your employees to flag potential issues before they turn into major headaches. Remember, defects aren't just blemishes on your products, they're blemishes on your efficiency, and in the world of lean manufacturing, efficiency is king. All right, let's talk yield. Now, yield is all about maximizing what you get out of what you put in. It's about squeezing every last drop of efficiency out of your process, like a farmer getting the most out of his crop. See, in a perfect world, every unit of raw material that enters your production line would transform into a flawless, sellable product. But the real world, well, it's a little messier than that. There are always going to be losses along the way, scrap, rework, defects, things that chip away at your overall yield. And the lower your yield, the less efficient your operation. It's like making a pot of coffee and only getting half a cup. Something's got to change. The key to boosting yield is to identify and minimize those losses, to plug those leaks in your production pipeline. It's about optimizing your processes, fine-tuning your equipment, and empowering your team to work smarter, not harder. Maybe it's about reducing material waste, improving your quality control procedures, or investing in more efficient equipment. Whatever it takes to close that gap between input and output, that's what yield optimization is all about. Remember, a high yield means you're getting the most bang for your buck, maximizing your resources and minimizing waste. And in the world of lean manufacturing, that's a recipe for success. So there you have it, the 6 big losses that can sabotage even the most efficient operation. But remember, knowledge is power. Understanding these losses is the first step towards conquering them. By identifying and addressing these challenges head-on, you can transform your shop floor into a well-oiled machine, maximizing efficiency, boosting your bottom line, and leaving your competition in the dust. Subscribe for future videos where we'll dive deeper into each of these losses, exploring practical strategies and real-world solutions to help you optimize your manufacturing process and achieve lean manufacturing mastery.